What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. We are starting off our, our official world tour. First time world tour here on the channel. I got the route stuff, the route descriptions down in the Discord. I'll make more of a proper, map at a later date, but I just wanted to tack in pretty much our destinations, kind of show people in the Discord where we're headed to. And we're flying with Air Canada Jetz, obviously. Not biased to that, you know, but beautiful livery. I love this livery, man. I don't know about you guys, but I think Air Canada needs to make every single aircraft in this livery. I love the black. I don't know what it is. Whether it's, Fiji Airways or Air New Zealand, I think, this is a nice looking black. And Air Canada Jetz, for those of you who don't know, it's a sort of a charter service, I guess. Basically, inside the aircraft, it's the whole cabin is decked out as a first-class cabin. So, pretty much Air Canada Jetz will shuttle this around. During the sports seasons, they'll shuttle this around for the sports teams to get them to and from their destinations. And I think they might have a couple of these aircrafts. I feel like they have at least 2, maybe 4 of these aircrafts. And, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We're going to be doing this whole sort of trip with the Fenix A320. The route will be updated as we go on, just because there are some scenery that I've posted, for the routes that aren't out yet. For example, Fort Lauderdale and Florida. We are waiting for, I think Vertical Sim is doing a Fort Lauderdale. I know there's a bigger, better developer doing Fort Lauderdale. I don't want to use the Latin VFR one. I don't like, or whatever that, Latin FR, whatever the hell that developer's called. I don't like their scenery. Not that their Fort Lauderdale is bad, but I just don't like their scenery. So it's, this whole world tour, we're going to focus on pay-where scenery. And depending on, what scenery's out there, we're going to focus on quality as well. But anyways, we have no passengers boarding up in this flight. I don't know what GSX is doing. They're loading cargo, and there's no cargo loaded up on this flight. So literally, it's just me. I guess what I could do in SimBrief, I could probably just make it 1 passenger. We'll decide that for a later flight. But anyways, you can see it's snowing. And, actively right now, during this recording, it is snowing. Kind of weird for the 11th of April. I'm doing this early morning just to get our legs in. And we're going to try to do 3 flights a week. And it looks like passengers are still going to be boarding up, which is very strange. Very strange. So, don't know why we have passengers boarding up. I'm going to have to maybe configure some GSX stuff and kind of go from there. But anyways, without further ado, let's jump inside. And as stated, the whole journey is going to be captured on Vatsim. And we are Air Canada 540 for the whole duration. Today we are doing service, so leg number 1, service from Toronto over to Halifax. We've loaded up everything. As you can see, no planned passengers, which means no cargo. But we got 6,500 kilograms of fuel. That's all been loaded off. And we'll come down to the box and let's get this thing set up here and get ready for departure, ladies and gents. AOC menu, flight in it. And beautiful. And there we have it. The estimated time is 1 hour, 41 minutes. Beautiful. Come to the init tab here, init request. And by the way, we are using Flight Tampa scenery. And we are at one of their general aviation parking stands. I believe this is where the rolled aircraft goes to at this airport. Could be wrong, but we're beside the chart right, I think, terminal, if I'm not mistaken. Cost index of 6. Here's with the 39,000. The plan, we're obviously not going to any terminals. Or any jetways, I should say, I should add. We are going to be focusing on, GA parking. As this aircraft normally parks. GA parking stands. And there we have it. Our fuel's all loaded up here. We're planning to depart off of runway 5. We're on the dead key 5 departure. Plug that in, and it's going to be the Olaba transition. I've done this flight so many times in the sim. I love flying out to Halifax. I believe it's Halifax V2 by Flight Sim Studios. Right now, we are going to plan runway 23. We'll plan the ILS 23. on the Fundy 5 Ebony transition. Temporary insert, beautiful. And let me know down in the chat or in the comments, ladies and gents, if you want to see me up on cam during these videos, or if you would much rather what we're currently doing. Boarding is complete. Go ahead and turn on the GPU in a minute, but let's go ahead and plan all of this. I'm going to put wet for this. Let's configure out everything. We'll calculate. There we have our speeds. We'll send that off. Beautiful. Fantastic. Open up VPilot. Let's find out our CTAF. $18.7 is where we need to be. $18.7. Beautiful. We're not squawking anything. Just because there's no ATC, and you don't get auto ATC out here in Canada. More in the United States, you'll get the auto ATC. The wind's currently at 350 at 11, gusting 16. So, beautiful start to our around the world journey. I anticipate this is probably going to take till the end of the year. I'll look at the departure stuff in a minute. I know it's going to be 5,000. There's our QNH. Come up top here. APU bleed coming on. Beacon light can come on. We don't need push or anything like that. We're going to go straight on out. But let's go ahead. APU is on. Kill all of this stuff. Company message. Beautiful. What we'll do is come back outside here. Open up Navigraph. Have a look at what we're doing here on the Dead Key 5 departure. For runway 5, we're going to taxi. I'm not sure this taxiway. I'm not used to taxiing over here in Toronto, but starting off runway 5, looks like it's runway heading to 1,000, and then it's a slight left turn, 10 degrees. We'll vector out probably to Dead Key over top of the downtown area. We're not going to have any visuals, as you can see. It's snowing. The winds are 350 at 11, gusting 16. Broken clouds at 900, overcast at 2,000. Conditions are light snow. Very strange weather happening right now in the Toronto area. It's been snowing. It's pretty much middle of April, and we are expecting to have warm weather coming up next week, which is kind of strange. It's 2 degrees currently, so the snow is not sticking. And the altimeter is 3010. And here's the initial climb. Unless otherwise assigned by ATC, maintain 5. That's pretty much standard. Climb heading 057 to 1,000. And climb left turn heading 047. Or is assign expect radar vectors to Alcut. Which we're not going to do radar vectors to Alcut. We'll probably just go direct Dead Key. For our taxi routing, so we're parked in the GA area. We're going to take Kilo over to Juliet. We're going to cross 15 right. Continue on to runway 5. Again, not exactly sure where Canada Jetz parks in here, but I know they do. We are at the Sky Charter, I guess, service lounge here. Not really modeled all that well by Fly Tampa. Very strange. Anyways, ladies and gents, along the way, so we are going to be doing our typical, I guess, video formats, you know what I mean? We'll depart off the airport, out of the airport. Do a little cinematic view at about 1,000, at about cruising altitude, and then hopefully once chase plane comes out, we're going to have some proper visuals. My whole plan with chase plane is to sort of showcase it in these videos. Do a little bit of cinematic stuff, you know what I mean? Especially for landing. Drop the gear, you know, flaps to, gear down, pan to a camera view, you know what I mean? Things like that. Anyways, beacon lights on. I'm going to kill GSX here. Prepare for push and departure. I don't need to. I don't know how to get rid of the stairs and stuff. Operate stairs. Does it move it? It's moving them. Okay, beautiful. Fan-frickin-tastic, ladies and gents. Gonna go ahead and start up the engines right now. Beacon lights on, fuel pumps are on, everything looks good. Stairs operation complete. And I'm just gonna start them up here. So we'll pretend that we've contacted ground. And engine number uno. I believe this is airport, so this is Derry Road. Behind this fencing here. Typically you'll see aircraft parked here. Most notably I've seen Philippines and Air France A350s parked here for maintenance. I've also seen a Condor, I think it was a Condor 757 parked here as well last summer. Wrong view. Beautiful. Engine number 2. It looks like we lost Fly Live. I don't know why. There you go. We're back up here. So yeah, the GA parking is just, in my opinion, absolutely atrocious here. Fly Tampa did not prioritize modeling in the buildings. Looks like 2 good engines. Come upstairs. CPU coming off. Engine start switch. Off. Flaps 1. Perf tap up 0.5 on the flight controls. Have it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. 18.7 CTAF in Toronto. Call them up. Let them know. Where are we going again? Kilo Juliet crossing 15 right. Toronto traffic. Air Canada 540 taxiing runway 5 via Kilo Juliet. Will cross 15 right. We'll hold short of the runway. Toronto traffic. There we have it. Beautiful. Parker brake coming off. Let's keep going, friends. The fuck is that? Is that a KFC bucket in the middle of the taxiway? What the fuck is that? guys fucking see that? What on the fucking earth is that? Just good old Colonel Sanders just hanging out. Fun fact, Colonel Sanders actually lived in Mississauga, Ontario. I think he lived in the Applewood community, which is like the western part of Mississauga. But what the fuck? Fly Tampa has KFC logo just in the middle of taxiway Kilo. Very strange. Very strange. I can tell the aircraft is very light because I got to keep playing with the throttles while taxiing to this runway. Can't find a happy zone for them. Quite the long taxi here. Toronto traffic, Air Canada 540, lining up runway 5 for departure. Let's get everything lit up here. Radar vectors to dead key. That's what we're doing. Not the nicest weather on our first leg. Beautiful. Throttle's going up. 50. And flex 66, SRS runway auto. Feel the gusts. My goodness. 100 knots. We're neutral. B1. And rotate. Positive rate. You're up. Flight director's playing with me right now. Stutter there. $39,000 feet is set and checked. And flaps 1. Flying like a rocket ship here. Nice little breakout. Autopilot coming on, bring you guys back up top. Beautiful. I think that's 10,000 feet from up top here. These guys kill those, kill those. Beautiful. We're pitching down now. We are pitching down. First leg is underway, ladies and gents. Service from Toronto to Halifax. Beautiful. Radar vectors to dead key. All right, I'm going to take the aircraft up to 39,000 feet, and I'll catch y'all on the approach coming into Halifax, ladies and gents. Stick around for that. Enjoy the rest of the video. Peace! What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the video. We are on the descent into Halifax. We are planning the ILS 23 approach on the 25 arrival. Open up an aircraft here to kind of show you guys what we are doing. So here we have it, the 25 arrival. We're coming in from Ebony. That was our arrival transition. Right now we're direct Muvix, and we're about 40 miles out from there. So we're in between here and here. We'll continue on to Logpo and then Dutier. Radar vectors to final, and we do have an aircraft behind us. I believe it's a Q400 coming in from Billy Bishop, but we are pretty far out ahead. We don't have to worry. Should be non-factor. The winds are 120 at 5 currently. So 120 at 5, which means we should change our runway. Maybe we'll go runway 15. We planned runway 14. Based off of those winds, actually looking at it now, it was calm, so it just changed up. This is why you always got to check your charts. And we can still plan this arrival. The winds being 120 at 5, probably safe to say we'll take runway 15 instead, so or 14, I mean. So we'll plan that up. We'll get that all plugged in. But anyways, instead of coming up to Logpo, we're going to be going to Modir and then vectoring ourselves for runway 14. The winds are 120 at 5, few clouds at 16,000, broken at 23. It's 4 degrees, altimeter 3031. And this is what our approach is going to look like for 14. It'll be radar vectors to Tetar. That puts us at about 10 miles out from the airport, which we got to be at about 3,000 feet. Our minimums are going to be 641, and we'll brief our missed approach as we get closer to the airport. So I know I told people behind me that I'm planning 2-3, but we'll mix it up. We're going to maintain this arrival. Keep that all plugged in. Select heading track first. So we're going to go BAM. BAM. Insert that, and then we'll go BAM on that one. Beautiful. All that's plugged in. Our perf stuff. I'm going to go ahead and change it up here. So 3031, I think, is our altimeter. It's currently 4 degrees. And I just set this all up too, which is kind of strange. 125. Get that plugged in. Our minimum 640. Approach. Beautiful. I got my CTAF frequency already preset. 118.4. I'm going to go ahead and clear some fixes here. Love plugging in my fixes. And then 5 mile radius on these. Beautiful, and I'm going to confirm 18.4 for our CTAF, and 18.4 is what it's showing. We got no ATC online. All is good. And looking well. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540. We are planning the ILS 14 approach. We are descending on the Fundy 5, about 20 miles from Halifax. Okay. And we'll swing this back into our beautiful VNAV. Lovely. Doing a steep descent there. 3031 on this guy. Get us back on track. Beautiful flying out here in Eastern Canada. There were a couple options for these, I guess this tour. You know, did I want to come into St. John's? Did I want to come in Halifax? I was obviously anticipating some ATC traffic in Canada, but we don't have any. But the other option, so typically aircraft, I guess, chartering flights out to Europe from North America, I'm pretty sure we'll go through Goose Bay Airport, if I'm not mistaken. Goose Bay doesn't have, there is no scenery in the sim for Goose Bay, no good scenery, so that's why we've opted for Halifax instead. Plus, you know, Flight Sim Studios did a wonderful job with their V2 rendition. Keep those speed brakes out here. It's asking for more drag. Can't give it more drag. And again with the fall colors, I don't know how to get rid of the fall colors in the sim. Just want to note, leg 2 is going to be from Halifax up to Nuke. We'll be checking out Flight Sim Studios' version of Nuke, Greenland. There are a couple different sceneries. I believe M&M Simulations did one as well, but you know, Flight Sim Studios, no offense, their aircrafts might not be, you know, super, I guess, reputable. But definitely their scenery is worth it. That's why we've opted for Flight Sim Studios Nuke. First time ever Flight Sim Gaming is flying in there. Not just on stream, but in general. I've never flown into Nuke. Passing 11,000. So CTAF, if you guys are just tuning in and wondering how do we use CTAF, typically I believe the requirements are within like 10 miles from the airport, and under 5,000 feet is when you want to equip the CTAF frequency. Everybody does things differently. Some people use it, you know, a little bit further out, but I treat it like a tower frequency. That's kind of how Flight Sim Gaming does it. There's 10,000. Get those guys on, this guy on. Beautiful. Get this down to 3,000 now. I'll probably just take it direct from Madeir. Don't need more drag. We're good there. Or sorry, yes, Madeir and then Tetar. So let me clear some of these discons. Clear the manual one first. Beautiful. Speed brakes out in full force. We're going to come to the performance tab here. I'm going to go ahead and activate the approach phase. We're looking good on that. I'm going to get the speed down to 10. Start slowing this bird up. despite the trees, the brown trees. I think scenery looks pretty good out here. If you guys are enjoying the video, ladies and gents, if you can, if you have a spare like, go ahead and smash down that thumbs up button for me. I would greatly appreciate that. It's going to be a long journey, long journey. I don't anticipate the world tour to kind of be done until probably sometime in the fall, as long as I'm able to upload to do the 3 videos a week. So if we can do 12 legs a month, I think it'll be really good for the channel. And we're going to continue on down to 3,000. 1,200 feet per minute. Don't think there's any traffic on the ground, and I don't know where to park to. We're going to go south apron. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, right base for runway 14. Come up to GSX. You could request parking. So we're going to go south apron. I'm going to take probably gate 22E, maybe? No idea where General Aviation parks. What the fuck did I just press? I think I restarted the Quadrant. These are cargo ramps. There are GA ramps. I have no idea where they are. What we'll do is we'll just take we'll take 2 Echo.
$2,500.
And of course, there's no 2 Echo. I don't want to take a cargo ramp. Might have to. And let's just figure out the flying situation here. We'll go managed speed, and we'll arm that Loke. Sitting at 3,000. Beautiful. Speed 190. Flaps coming out. I think I go 2. There we go. Looking good. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, 10-mile final, runway 14. That being said, we'll switch over to the CTAP frequency. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, 10-mile final, runway 14. Manage speeds back in, and we'll arm that approach button. Lost a subscriber somehow. Sure, in this recording. Appreciate whoever did that. Thank you. Flaps 2. Quickly brief myself on the missed approach for runway 14. So it says climb to 3,000, heading 143, expect vectors. There's glide slope. Maintain 170 till about 5. Coming down. Flaps 3. And we'll go flaps full. Beautiful. Gear down 3 green. Flaps full indicated. What we got to do is... and fly this down. There's our V speeds, 120. We got no weight in this bird. So we're gonna have to learn how to fly this aircraft at 120 knots. That's gonna be strange. That's gonna be super strange. Play with the weights as we carry on this journey. Maybe we'll add some cargo. Alright, there we have it. Enjoy the arrival, ladies and gents. Catch y'all on the ground. Planning to vacate on Mike, but possibly Kilo. And I'm going to take the aircraft. My controls. Check. Again, gear down 3 green, flaps are full. All of our signs are on. Auto brake set to low. First landing of the world tour. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, short final, runway 14. I don't know what to fly here. Do we fly Pappies or glide slope? I don't really remember. I guess we'll fly glide slope. There's no Pappies here. Or are there Pappies here?
100 above.
Flying glide.
Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
First coming out. As a greaser. Take that. Textbook landing 80 knots. Or 70 knots. Reverser stowed. Ladies and gents, welcome to good old Halifax. Enjoy your stay. We're going to be departing momentarily over to across the Atlantic into Europe. Beautiful. I'll take that. We'll vacate Mike. Beautiful stuff. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, clear of all runways. Beautiful. There's an aircraft coming in. Because I don't know where we're going. Open up GSX, and I'm going to show me the spot. Just as I thought. Okay. Again, I don't know where GA parking is here. So we're going to kind of freestyle it. Strobe lights coming on. Runway turns coming on. Halifax traffic, Air Canada 540, crossing runway 23 at Delta. Good stuff, good stuff. There we have it. 1 hour, 55 minutes. Beautiful. I think we're 7 minutes late. I'll have to double check with SimBrief, but I'm pretty sure we're 7 minutes late. Again, no idea where GA aircraft park. I know I picked one of these gates up here. Is this maybe the GA hangar up here? It's not showing. It is the GA hangar up here. Okay. These are, I guess, the hangars, which we're not going to go to. We're the only ones here at the moment. I think these are where the CRJs park. If I'm not mistaken. Looks like GA parking is up here. So maybe we'll pull up in here. Should we? Yeah, these are gates. We don't want to go there. Let's see, where's that Q400? Is he close? He's on approach. We're gonna pull up in here. Hopefully. There's an Air Canada hangar up here. God, can we take this taxiway? I think we can. According to the charts, I think it said no. We'll come in here anyway. Very, very interesting. It's a helipad, so we don't want to go there. But we'll spin her around. Get her all...
Halifax traffic, dashboard 2283 is 11 miles west of Logpo 8000, descending 5, RNAV Yankee, runway 23.
It's coming in on 23. Beautiful. All right, we're going to call it right there. Park and brake coming on. EPU bleed. Turn that guy on. Just go ahead and shut him down, ladies and gents. Beacon light coming off. Fuel pumps, we'll turn them off. Very cool, man. Very cool. We'll connect that GPU. Turn that on. And there we have it. So, fortunately, we won't be able to deboard like this, but I know we can do it like this. We'll bring these guys in. Beautiful. Open up this guy. Lovely, ladies and gents. There we have it. Slight skewed on that park job there, but we've made it in the Halifax. Very good flight. Hour 55 minutes. I'll make sure to log that. Appreciate everybody tuning in to watch the series. It's gonna be a cool one, man. We're going to places. We're going to places that we never thought we would be going to. You know, we got some things lined up. It's gonna be pretty cool. And like I said, everything's gonna be done on Vatsim, so that should make it even more interesting. You know, once we start hitting certain parts of the world where maybe we don't really understand their language or, you know, their accents and things like that. But I'm excited for that. Again, we're trying to do this 3 days a week. So the World Tour videos should be going out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Followed by, obviously, our live streams. And, you know, the live streams are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I know the last couple live streams haven't really happened on Tuesdays, and we missed one on Thursday, but that is what's scheduled. So stay tuned for that. From here, we're going out to Nuke, Greenland, which is going to be exciting. But anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, ladies and gents. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.